Welcome, Pacer fans.
Nah.
I need a little bit more from you. I mean, look. I've got some notes.
Okay.
That's all.
Just a couple
Right.
notes.
I don't take notes.
Yeah, so just prepare to.
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect. Yeah, so just prepare to.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
This train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to.
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbelievable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. This is episode 560. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials and former season ticket holder. This show, we're going to discuss the shape of the Pacers and what we think we might be the most effective use of personnel. That's just code for what's up with Brogdon. Joining me this week are two of our three analysts. You know what? We're still coast to coast, like buttered toast.
Always.
First, from Indianapolis, Indiana, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Once again, nice to be back in the childhood bedroom with Jonathan Colson. Shout out this week to 2022. So, yeah, we're wrapping up 2021, which really feels like an extended 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So, I'm very confused.
I have no idea what year it is.
No.
2020 part 2, I feel like.
Right.
It may be a trilogy, I don't know.
With the way this Omicron thing is going, it will be.
Yeah.
Usually the third one's the worst of the trilogy.
It depends.
Return of the Jedi was pretty good.
It was good, but Empire Strikes Back was still better. Like Die Hard 1 and 2 were really strong. Die Hard 3's okay. It's good. It's still
Was that
good.
that Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good movie, but
I like
like
that one better than the second.
than 2. All
I
right.
think
Well,
so.
all right. Well, maybe COVID will be like Die Hard 4, which was as good as the rest of them until 1. Except, I mean, yeah.
Well, if we go to the Star Wars prequels, the third one was the best one.
Of the prequels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. But man, that was still a bad movie.
Oh, it was a long way to get there.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, if COVID is the Star Wars prequels, it'll be better, but it's still gonna suck. All right, I'm okay with this metaphor.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's probably where we need to be.
Yeah.
To 2020 with the Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Seems about right.
Yeah.
2021 was
Trumpish Jar Jar Banks like I kind of Misa, no take the coronavirus.
I love it.
that was pretty solid. And 2021 was Clone Wars, which was just full of a terrible acting and a bad dialogue, where we all felt awkward the entire time.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And then the
I don't even know the name of the third
Is it
movie.
Revenge? Oh, let's see. Is it Revenge of the Sith?
Revenge of the Sith.
I think that's right. Yeah.
And I think that one is going to be closest to what we recognize as Star Wars, so it's going to be sort of similar to reality, but just still really clunky and awkward.
Yeah, but there's a lava planet, right?
That's true.
Which those are cool. I didn't introduce you at all. From Indianapolis, Indiana. He's our in-house bartender. He mixes up the drinks and the crappy jingles. John Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? So glad to be with you in this holiday season. Welcome to my home, my childhood bedroom.
Have a seat.
Yeah, we are.
This is where the magic is.
That's where the magic has always happened. Coast to coast, like, well, you know what? We're not coast to coast, but we are definitely like buttered toast.
You said coast to ghost. I heard that.
Coast to ghost,
Coast
balls
to
to
ghost.
walls, sperm to worm.
Well, I was gonna ask people for money, but now I feel weird about it. If you want more of what you just heard, head over to patreon.com/undebeatables, and you can support us for as little as $1 per month. And you can hear more of John's quips on our Slack if you join. You can text him there, as he would say.
Text me on Slack.
Yep. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, so we want to talk about Malcolm Brogdon, where he sort of fits in with this franchise. The past week, he's been out again. He's had injury troubles. At least since he's been with us. That's sort of been par for the course.
And before that.
And before, yeah. I mean, it's sort of a career thing, but we signed him. He's our sort of our franchise guy. Like he's we put the money there, and he plays great when he's on the floor, but he's often not. And then when he's not, there's other players who pick up the slack and look pretty good. LeVert filled in really nicely as sort of a
Gummy Bear Dwayne Washington Jr.
That's right.
I mean, looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, so I was the one that put this on the docket that we wanted to discuss, and the reason was I was watching the Miami game, or actually I wasn't watching, I was listening, and I heard that Malcolm Brogdon attempted to play and then re-injured his Achilles, and I suddenly had a panic attack. Briefly, I mean, like a Pacers level panic attack.
You were like hyperventilating.
No, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that we put all of our chips in on Malcolm Brogdon because we signed him, as you said, Joey, to this extension, and now we're gonna trade the rest of the team and build around him. And so I just wanted to recount the numbers of games that he's played in his NBA career per season. So, mind you, he also started out as a Chris Duarte-esque old rookie. He was 24 when he was a rookie.
That's right.
Played 75 games that season. Won Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Off to a hot start.
He was I did not know he was a 24-year-old rookie.
Yeah. He played all 4 years, and he got the Roy.
Yeah,
I
and
knew he got the
apparently
Roy.
then some, because weren't we like 22 when we graduated college? I don't know. Anyway.
Speak for yourself.
He was probably redshirted his first year. Yeah, Joey.
Year 2 played 48 games. Year 3, 64. Year 4, 54. Now that was the COVID season, so I don't know what the total number of games. I forget what the total number of games was, but it was not 100% of the games.
Sure.
Last year he played 56 games, and so
Out
far
of
this
75.
Well, they played.
year, out of 2.
72, right?
They played 72 last year, right?
Yeah.
And then this year has played 26 of, I forget what we played so far this year, 30 some odd. He's missed 8+ games as we record now. And so I just was worried. I just was like, what? So we talked in the past about whether or not Brogdon is the right type of point guard. Does he make guys around him better? And that's the second problem is, even if he does, if he shows up for 3/4 of the games, is that going to be good enough for us to be a championship level team? I have worries about this.
Well, okay. Championship level, no. I think he can be a piece on a good team, but the Milwaukee Bucks had him and traded him away and then won a championship. So they clearly didn't think that he was going to be a piece on a championship team.
Okay, so that's an argument in the con.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think... So, look, do I think he makes players better? I'm not sure. What I know is he's an efficient scorer. He makes smart decisions offensively in general. He usually only takes shots that are open or going to the basket. And he also is a pretty good passer. He's got size offensively and defensively. I don't think he's a stalwart defensively, but he's at least big. He's an above replacement level player.
What's his stats? I want to say
His
his
PER.
PER this season.
I mean, okay, fair enough. Who does he have chemistry with on the team? Is he doing a pick and roll with Sabonis that's deadly? You know, we can watch we've talked about the kind of chemistry that Sabonis has with other players on the team, and he looks to pass to guys. Is he making Miles Turner better? I mean, are these things that are happening? He's in a backcourt with Karis LeVert, who's also a big guard. You know, what are we running, or what is he running that makes it work? I see a lot of great action. I feel like Malcolm Brogdon makes really smart, analytical decisions about how he's going to score and when he's going to score. But I don't know if he makes people better around him.
His PER this year, to your point, Joey, is actually the highest of his career so far.
Good.
It's 19.
Okay.
His previous high was last year, which was... So that his previous 3 years, he's been in the high 17s. 17
So he's above replacement player.
15 is replacement.
Yep.
Okay.
And I do feel like he's savvy and efficient offensive scorer, and he's big enough defensively that he didn't always get burned. I just don't know that he's not elite. He's not
He's not
special.
an all-star.
No.
Right?
No.
Okay, here's an
He was
example.
borderline all-star 2 years ago, right?
Do you feel like the team we had a few years ago, Darren Collison, is he better than Darren Collison?
Collison was
Good question.
Yes.
Yes.
He's taller than Darren Collison.
certainly.
He's
But
a
does
better
it-
scorer than Darren Collison.
Okay. Is he a better distributor?
I don't know. Probably statistically.
Does he
is.
give a shit as much?
You talking about the guy who just retired on us?
Stop it.
I mean, he did.
He retired in general. It's not like he retired on the Pacers. He went to go save the kids from hell or whatever.
Yeah, but then like the next season, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, Clippers. If
But
you're-"
he didn't.
Well, because
Come back.
no one signed him.
Whatever. Stop being mean to Darren Collison.
I mean, I like Darren Collison.
I'm just saying, is he? Do you want him instead of Malcolm Brogdon right now?
I mean,
I mean Darren Collison from 10 years ago or 5 years ago.
I mean, I think Brogdon, like you mentioned several times, that defensively he's just-
bigger.
I mean, he's a better two-way player. You know, Collison was fast and could steal the ball, but like,
That's what I'm saying. I think Waterbug, he stayed in front of people in a way that Brogdon doesn't. I see Brogdon getting blown by a lot.
I don't know. I think that Brogdon's a better two-way player.
Okay.
And I mean, you know, I never thought like, you know, while Brogdon is certainly like steady and, you know, doesn't make a bunch of like unforced errors. He just doesn't. You know.
I agree with that.
And Collison also didn't. You know, I
Right.
think he was pretty measured and didn't just didn't make a bunch of mistakes. You know. In fact, I remember specifically Collison's like assist to turnover ratio was always really
Fantastic,
good.
right.
He just didn't. You know, he just didn't make a lot of turnovers.
Right. He didn't hurt us
Yeah,
with
he's-
mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think I'd still rather have Brogdon, just sort of like, you know, the physicality he can bring. But I mean,
I in a vacuum, I totally agree with this.
Yeah.
If Brogdon played 75 games a year,
right, and that's
I would not have the concerns that I have now.
And
The
that's
thing
sort
that
of where-
concerns me is
So this-
availability.
So you think that? So your issue is just with injury? Because my issue is
No,
more
it's
than
not
that.
just with that,
We
but it's
just
more
signed
than
this
that.
dude for
I
4
agree.
more years or whatever it is,
I agree.
and we're not sure that he's a leader.
The reason I bring up his statistical exploits is that they're statistical exploits. It doesn't really translate to something that you can measure off the or like an impact on the game that is outside of
So what you're saying is Malcolm Brogdon is
Like
giving
Malcolm
us
Brogdon-
17, 7, and 4 or whatever, but it's
Right.
not leading to wins. And then we give Karis LeVert the ball, and now he's giving us 20 and 10. Still
Right.
not leading to wins.
So even though Malcolm Brogdon is playing at blood replacement level, I think that on this roster, if you put, you know, a slightly above replacement level player, like they'd be doing what Brogdon was doing statistically.
So you don't think that Brogdon's special?
I do not.
Okay. And the problem is that this team. Now I know Harper would argue that Sabonis is special,
I agree with him in that.
and I would argue that Miles Turner is special.
Okay.
But outside of that, there's nobody special on this team. And the two guys that we have overlap in skill, and they get in each other's way. And this team has been built upside down, and we just paid the president, our leader, who's not getting anything out of us for another 4 years.
I mean, we can. I mean, yes,
It's a
but
movable contract.
right.
Not this year,
No, not this year.
because
but
we signed him.
the rest of the years.
But it's not like we paid him a max deal.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. I like him. I like everybody on this team. They're all nice guys. They're all likable guys.
But there's no knuckleheads.
Right.
We just need one.
Maybe Gummy Bear is.
You may need to remind the listeners who Gummy Bear is.
That's Dwayne Washington Jr.
Dwayne Washington Jr.
Or the Sauce Brissett. He's not, though. He's such a nice guy.
And the other thing we should talk about, I guess, is why are we so bad at three-point shooting? Like, the whole league is geared toward three-point shooting. Clearly, one of the things that Carlisle wanted to do when he came in was shoot more three-pointers. And we've done that. I think attempt-wise, we're like
You
right up
should
there.
clarify. We should make more.
Yeah. Dropping them in the bucket is not what we do. Like,
Okay.
And we started out the year fine.
Yeah, they were good early.
Like, we started out fine.
high.
Middle of the... I mean, like, we weren't elite by any means,
Yeah.
but we were middle of the pack, and it's like,
Or
okay,
even
fine.
above middle.
And so if you're shooting, more threes a game, like, in the end, you're doing better, because 3 is worth more than 2. And that's great. But then we've been now on I think it's like a 15 or 16 game stretch where we're shooting, like, at or below 30%.
Well, okay, so this is one of the things that I've been watching over as this has evolved, right? Because I was really upset about how we weren't using our size. We're misusing Sabonis.
Sure.
He's one of the best low post big men in the league. He's one of the best passing big men in the league. He's one of the better rebounding big men in the league.
Sure.
And we're keeping him out front, and he's shooting threes.
I
he's-
wish he would stop shooting 30s.
Right. Well, he's been doing it. And
He's
he's shooting
really
it at
bad
like a
at it.
24%
He's
clip.
horrible. He's
right?
horrible.
And so, why are you taking away the thing that he does well and making him go out there? Because that is what Carlisle has designed, right? Well, Carlisle has been listening to the show, and he's figured out that that's not how it's supposed to work. So he's starting to use his mismatches. He's got 2 big guys. He's starting to use Sabonis down low lately over the last few weeks. Now, the problem is, what that's done is screwed up our spacing.
Right.
And so all of the efficient threes we were getting earlier in the season we're no longer getting. Also, we don't have elite three-point shooters. I think Brogdon and Levert are pretty good. I think Justin Holiday is elite. But name me another elite three-point shooter. Miles Turner is maybe our second or third best three-point shooter.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good. So, like, we don't have the personnel for it.
Sauce. Or
The sauce is great, for sure. I mean,
it's not.
Jeremy
Consistent.
Lamb, but not great. I mean,
Yeah.
he's injured anyway. So like, I just don't think we have a lot of elite. Now, if you create the spacing that we had before, and this is what Carlisle would argue, right? We were getting better 3-point looks before, but the thing is, we were still losing those games too.
Right.
Like, I think taking the advantage of the big guys down low is the way to go, and we did that very effectively against Chicago. We just had an 18-point hole before we started playing that way.
Right.
Because we're not going to outshoot anybody on the 3-point line. We're just not.
Not right now, no.
So if you can't do that, then do something else.
So, do you think that part of our trade packages that we should sort of go for, clearly we are active in the trade market right now.
For sure.
We should try to add an elite 3-point shooter, a Doug McDermott, if you will.
Well, we had a Doug
Which I don't know
McDermott.
how
We gave him away. So there was a rumor this week that we could get Russell Westbrook. So I'm
That's
thinking,
not solving that problem.
no, it doesn't solve that problem. But you would now have an all-star on your team.
You'd have butts in the seats.
I mean, maybe.
Would you?
I don't know.
I think
He's pretty
so.
fun.
People would come to see him. I think.
How would you feel about Russell Westbrook?
Oh, I don't want him on my team. I mean, look
I
at
don't know,
look at
man.
those teams.
I know, but like,
You know, like Washington. You know, these teams that move them, and all of a sudden they get better. Like, I don't know, like.
I mean, Washington's not that much better. Houston's not better. LA, whatever, they're fine.
Heuston has other problems.
I'm just saying, and actually OKC's not better either. I don't know. I think he's a superstar. He's one of the best 75 players to ever play basketball. I know he's past his prime, but like, you know, if you don't give up too much for him, like, is that really a terrible idea?
I feel like the way to trade for him is to do a mid-season trade. He always starts out super slow and then comes on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's worth $44 million for what, the next 2 years?
How could you not give up? I mean, just on you know.
You'd have to give up LeVert and
Turner's like
Turner or Sabonis or T.J. Warren. All those guys are worth $20 million.
I get, man. I take some combinations would be more interesting than others.
I mean, the thing is he doesn't really play defense, but he's a force of nature.
I mean, he would be the alpha in the locker room immediately.
At least there's that.
I mean, yeah.
Malcolm Brogdon can play too, which is probably what he's most suited for. He's a beautiful spot-up shooter.
Yeah.
He makes decisive decisions to go to the bucket.
Or is he going to get the ball back?
On some level, Malcolm Brogdon is a brilliant 2, and he wants to be a 1. And we just need to bring it.
Is he a better George Hill? Like,
I mean,
I just feel like.
Yeah, I think he is.
I feel like we just.
I mean, or maybe not even better. He's just George Hill. Like, we're just back to the same thing. Like, I mean, he's taller than George Hill.
He is taller than George Hill.
But I'm not sure he's better. He's just George Hill. Like, and the thing is, he wants to be a 1. He came to this team to be a 1. But the thing is, I think he's better as a 2. And we need a real pure 1.
Well, when they run those, when McConnell, you know, was.
Right, they
healthy,
did a lot of that.
They just ran.
Actually, some of our best lineups were McConnell coming off the bench, and
they just ran. Yeah, they ran our backup point as a point and throw him as the 2, and
it was pretty efficient.
I thought was just it was like this is the guy who's supposed to be running the team, but they bump him out to the 2.
It worked pretty well.
I mean, they look.
What if we do LeVert running the point and I mean they basically are still playing the backcourt. Just give LeVert the ball handling skills and see what happens. I mean,
I feel like you're just running 2 guards again.
Sure, but I mean, what? Yeah. I mean, look, I'm shooting blanks, man. I got no plan.
I mean, at this point, you just gotta try anything.
Yeah.
Let's see, Westbrook this year. What's he doing?
Not great.
No, not great at all. This year, Westbrook's giving you 19, 8, and 8, which is good.
Amazing.
Shooting 30% from the 3-point range, so that's not going to help our numbers. And turning the ball over a whopping 4.6 times a game.
On his own?
All by himself.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I personally don't. I don't think that's the move.
I don't think it's the move either, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know what the move is. I mean, we've talked before, like, okay, let's get some draft picks.
Yeah.
But like, I know that this, you know, that ownership is going to want to bring an impact player in. I think we've got impact players. I think our issue is energy and motivation. So let's bring in a couple draft picks and
let's put some stuff in the water.
And a crazy
some stuff in the water.
They used to have a caffeinated water you could buy.
Yes.
Get them all juiced up on caffeine.
Get some of that big face coffee.
Yeah.
My concern, Joey, is that we have all these guys that we've told we're going to trade them. Bad for morale. We hoped that maybe it would light a fire under their butts. I guess it has, but that's not real clear. Nobody's playing better. We're not winning. We're winning some games, but it's against bad teams. I feel like this entire organization has misplayed this. Are you concerned that this is not something that is just going to be a problem this season, but that's going to be a problem for the next couple seasons moving forward. Like, how bad have we screwed this up, Jason?
This organization has been misplaying things for the past 5 or 6 years, right? So, I mean, it did well with the Oladipo.
Oladipo Sabonis trade. The Oladipo, when we traded Paul George, we got Oladipo Sabonis. Everybody said, this is ridiculous. What are we doing?
And then
it really worked out well.
Salvaged. I suppose you could argue that we salvaged that situation as best we could when the Oladipo situation went downhill after the injury.
Sure.
Even before the injury, there were starting to be hints of, he wasn't happy to be here, repeating the Paul George situation.
Sure, yeah. And we ended up getting Karis LeVert.
Right. Exactly. So, I feel like we are having a hard time building an identity. I think we've had a hard time building an identity since David West left.
I was going to say, shout out David West. I love David West. But I was going to say,
I wore this today.
We are all wearing Pacers shirts right now.
Of course.
But I was going to say, we haven't had an identity since Nate McMillan left.
Oh, interesting.
Because the thing is that guy said, hey, look, we're going to play hard every night, we're going to win every game, and we're going to play at max, which means we won't have a level to get up to in the playoffs, and which means they're always going to lose in the first round. But what we do is we play hard, and we don't beat ourselves. We play tough defense. We have an annoyingly mediocre offense, but we win 45 games. That was our identity. Totally. And the thing is, that's at least an identity. And we beat up that guy because we were like, oh, it's an uninspiring offense and all this stuff. But, we knew who we were.
We also got, swept in the playoffs every year.
I know, but we knew who we were.
Year. And for that brief period of time, we had an incandescent player in Oladipo who could take you to the next level, who was capable of doing things beyond the limitations of the system that he was working in. And it didn't quite work because we get outsmarted by the Cavs and they double teamed him. And Nate McMillan wasn't able to anticipate the double team.
Hey, Jason, slow down. So, what did they do?
They got the ball out of his hands.
They double
team.
Man, I've never heard of this. That sounds genius.
Yep.
I'm assuming it's beyond my ability to understand.
You think that they said, oh, we're going to be playing, we will be playing the Pacers for 4 games, so let's just watch some film and make some adjustments.
Well, they ended up playing us for 7 games.
Yeah.
So they had plenty of time to practice this, what do you call it, double team?
I think it was almost a trap. Yeah, you might call it. So I don't know how to answer your question. I don't know if the organization has completely bungled this or what. I mean, it's the nice thing about the NBA is that things are changeable. Right, so we can make changes and try to reconstitute the roster in a way that we can get an identity. And the problem, I think, so the question that we have always had is, are all the pieces talking to one another, and are all the pieces on the same page? So now, especially now that we've brought in Carlisle, who is a dude who's been in the NBA since
I feel like he's got his own vision.
78 or something like that. No, but that's fine. If you as an organization are like, we hired this guy, we trust this guy, let's bring this guy into the conversations and say, how do you want to do this? What do you think is going to be successful for you to work with? Let's get pieces that will work with you, right? And right now, I don't know that we have an all-star, but we have. If our dude to build around is Malcolm Brogdon, I would think we would go to Malcolm Brogdon with any potential trades or whatever, and say does this work with you, or did Russell Westbrook sleep with your mom? And this is not going to work.
I think that here's the issue. Sabonis is our best player, and Carlisle has put him out to the corner and said, just shoot shoot threes. Like this is part of this is a coaching issue. Like he refuses to. I don't know how the ownership brought in a coach. Yes, an accomplished coach who's won a championship and who always wins 45 games every season. But they brought him in and he said, "I got this. Don't worry about it." And he's taking the one advantage we had, which is a dominant low post offensive scorer, and moved him from the basket. Like, I don't understand what's happening, and this is his coaching problem in my mind. Like, I know he's changing that a little bit over the last few weeks. We're starting to get Turner and Brogdon, or Turner and Sabonis playing down to the basket and taking advantage of mismatches. But I have been concerned by how little it seems like Carlisle has a pulse on how this team has been built. It's almost like he wants to build his team in a different way, and he and Pritchard aren't on the same page. So now we have to trade away half our team to make our coach happy. This is a concern for me.
Well, so statistically, to support your argument, Sabonis's assist percentage is way down from what it was last year.
Because we used to run the offense through him.
Yeah, and his usage percentage is also down from 24 to 22, basically.
I guess that's not that much.
Weirdly, his PER is up. It's the highest it's ever been in his career.
Okay. Well, maybe I don't know anything about basketball. That's quite possible.
Larry Bird texted me and told me that.
I think that means that, and his win shares are quite high.
Wait, his win shares are high? That's not possible. See, the stats are wrong because we don't win, so he doesn't get shares of things we don't win.
Well, his win share is .191, which is second highest to the first year that he joined the Pacers, and it was .197. So, I don't understand basketball enough to know whether or not Carlisle's using him correctly.
Apparently he is.
I tend to agree with you that him shooting 3-pointers at a 282 clip, which is what he's shooting him this year, is not the way to go.
As good as shooting 67% from 2-point range, what he normally does, right?
I think he just needs more shots from the outside. I think that's the problem. Practice makes perfect.
I mean, as wild as he's shooting 57% overall, which is the highest of his career.
That's impressive.
Second highest of his career.
Okay, because all he's got to do is dunk.
Yeah.
Now, I think his win shares are. I don't know. He can win share in my mouth. I don't know.
God.
Cool. Well,
let's move on to our next segment.
I think it's time. I want to. First and foremost, finish this conversation. To stop you from talking, but I want to do before I think we want to get. We're going to close out the show here, but I want to give my stat of the week.
Joey, stat of the week.
And this one, go ahead.
So I gave a stat on the last show.
Yeah.
Was that the stat of the week?
No.
It was the stat of that show.
It was a stat, not the stat.
I was just checking.
No. Not the stat of the week.
Okay.
This stat of the week, we got some good old engineering coming out of Indiana. And when you think of Indiana, what do you think of, Colson?
Corn,
okay.
Basketball.
Okay.
Beaches.
What about the color white?
Sadly, yes.
Whitestown. Right here in Indiana, we have taken the color white to the next level.
Really?
Yes. Just the color in paint. At Purdue University, Shulin Ron is a professor of mechanical engineering at Purdue, and he and his team of graduate students have made the world's whitest white paint. And the benefits of that are, the main thing that they wanted to do was for
better education, more money over a lifetime.
No.
Yeah. Less chance to go to prison.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, those paints will never go to jail.
Basically, the system is set up to help them be educated.
Sure.
Have a better life. If they get pulled over, they're less likely to get a ticket.
Right.
Yeah, stuff like that.
These paints reflect over 98% of sunlight that hits it.
Of racism.
Right. 98% of the problems just go away.
Exactly, because they're so white. They're so white. There's no issue.
It just gets sent back into the.
You complain at the restaurant, and it's all all fine. It's
Sir, you take care.
Yeah.
Is the name of this paint Karen?
No. But it's been certified by Guinness as the world's whitest paint. So but the cool practical applications are
ordering Mikado at Starbucks.
Ordering what?
Macchiato.
Oh my God.
A macchiato at Starbucks. Is that the advantage of this?
No.
How white this is?
No. You also really try to order Mikado.
Right.
Like, why can't you get me a bento box? What is going on? Can I see your manager?
Yeah, no. The advantage of being this white is that you can ask for the manager, and the manager will actually come out.
Yeah. So they're saying if it's ambient temperature outside, it's a hot, dry day, 85 degrees outside. If a surface has this paint on it, the surface temperature will be 75 degrees. So it actually cools it, and they're saying in a lot of cases better than air conditioning with no power at all, because it reflects so much
Whoa,
sunlight.
okay. All right, so that's how white it is.
Yeah.
It's as white as Crocs and jean shorts. Okay, I like it.
Now, I want to... Joey, this is
And
amazing.
flannel.
Right.
Advancement. You can put it on the tops of school buses.
Yep. Yeah.
And, all this
And the
good
kids
stuff.
will just be cool.
I do want to say, I think this was the stat of the week previously. Maybe it was like the previous generation of this paint.
You know what it may have been?
Okay.
It's getting whiter. That's all I know.
I'm
think
had this
I'm
conversation before.
No, I'm really glad that this didn't end up in burning crosses in front yards. This is.
I think I may have done the blackest paint before.
Oh, maybe that's what.
And that one.
I thought we talked about white because it was like, yeah. Okay. Anyway.
I think and there's a the black paint is
good for insulation.
Now I'm remembering this.
It's called Vanta Black, and it absorbs 99.9% of
Okay,
light.
there we go.
But yeah, so apparently I've got a thing for her. Apparently I'm really impressed by extreme
colors.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. Okay.
So no, but what you're saying is, as much as we're making fun of this, what you're saying is that this is revolutionary, and it could actually.
It certainly could.
Do I have to buy an air conditioner anymore?
Well, that's the thing. So it will potentially reduce, and part of it I believe has to do with the if it's the environment, the humidity, that sort of thing. But if you lived in a place that you needed air conditioning sometimes of the year, maybe you wouldn't need it at all anymore. Or you could go from just reducing it in general. You may not need it if you needed it before, or you may just use it less than you did. Like if you're like at my house, in the summer I'm running a lot, like in the DCs.
Yeah.
It's hot, like but you may be able to use it less.
But it doesn't. Okay, so but ultimately, like, it's just something that happens over time, right? So the whiteness will probably lower my power usage.
Yeah.
And also probably make me go to IKEA more.
For sure.
Okay, get it now.
What do white people do? I don't know.
Okay, so I like this idea. The only thing I am concerned about is when you reflect this much light, the light goes somewhere.
This thing back into out into space.
But also into our eyes. Like, are we going to be living in an environment where, like, there's so much things painted white that we're just...
I guess it
it's
depends
like,
on where you
like
are.
when it snows in the winter? And
Sure,
you're
it's
just,
really bright.
Oh my god, I can't,
Yeah.
like, deal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I assume that it will just reflect back, and it will add to global warming, which makes for really pleasant winters. It'll be fine.
No, it goes out back into space.
We have an atmosphere that reflects it
Yeah,
back.
isn't it gonna go into the?
That's not my problem. That's
Interesting.
Hey, look, I'm all in on the whitest white leading to global warming, because that's what's been happening forever. You know what I'm saying?
so. It is. There's no timeline to get it to market. Coming out of academia. So, no offense.
From the ivory tower.
From the ivory,
From the whitest tower available.
the whitest ivory you've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The guy's got to dust off his Birkenstocks and then talk to the
Patches on their
to
elbows.
the intellectual property people and
Yep.
Explain to us how important it is.
yeah.
Oh, you don't understand.
Oh, no, I definitely don't have my own experience. I don't understand. I need you to teach me about it. White paint.
So that is my stat of the week.
That's a great stat of the week, Joey. That's maybe my favorite stat of the week.
All right.
But there was no number.
I like the black stat better. I'm gonna go on that.
I'm not going to say all paints matter. It's just not going to do it. It's not going to happen. You wanted me to say it, but I'm not going to.
On that note, until next show, you can find
That's why
us.
we don't do this in the same room.
Moo. Oh, so fun fact. We were doing the New York Times spelling bee. You guys do that?
Yep, I
Okay.
do that. I love that.
The spelling bee?
Yeah.
Play this game is great.
It's fantastic. It's a
What?
little app, and you get 7 letters, and you've got to make words out of it.
Okay.
So today, the letter you had to use was M, and then there was 6 other letters. And my mother said, "How about moo moo?" So I put MOO.
Yeah.
Did not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I put MU in, and I was like, "Nope, it doesn't work." And she said, "Did you put MUU in?" And I was like, "That's not how words work. There's no such thing as 2 U's in a row." And then I put it in and it worked.
Except for Moo Moo. Yep.
I think apparently it's Hawaiian.
It is. Moo. I'm gonna add that to my because I haven't done my.
Oh, you haven't finished it yet? Yeah, that's gonna make you a genius. I was really proud when Mom came up with that.
Nice.
Moo. I'm not sure why I got there, but
Bam.
fun
6
fact.
points.
Well
Yeah,
done.
where are you at? I can
I'm
help you
at
out.
64. So
Oh, you need some help.
Yeah. I haven't. Come on.
Mammogram.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice one.
we nailed it today.
Oh, wow.
We spent a lot of time trying to become geniuses.
Did it work?
Yeah, every day. It takes the 3 of us, but we're always a genius at the end of the day.
Beautiful.
We refuse to go to sleep until we're geniuses.
Nice.
Does the app tell you you're a genius?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does. Yeah.
Okay.
There's levels. and
Okay.
then the top
There's
level.
amazing, there's great, there's
Okay.
nice, there's happy. There's...
Wait.
I just try to get the pentagram. So the pentagram is you use all of the letters.
Oh, I won't tell you what the
Okay.
pentagram is then.
I might have already gotten it.
Okay.
Is this once a day or is it?
No, yeah, every day.
Okay.
It's great. Highly recommend.
Do you need
No,
to
I
be a
haven't gotten
subscriber
it.
of the? Well, I got a guy.
You know a guy?
Yeah. It's
You
just
just-
my wife. She's a subscriber. Maybe she can.
Because she
break-
reads.
Maybe she can break me off a little.
She pays attention to the news, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
She watches the Pacer games for you as well.
Ugh. I'm too nice. I don't make her do that.
You're a good husband.
Yeah. Well, let's get out of here. We'll be back with you next week. Have safe holidays if you're traveling
Yeah.
around. Be,
Is it almost New Year's Eve?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
If this
Okay.
comes out on Thursday, then
It'll be New Year's Eve.
it'll be New Year's Eve.
Which is when you take your parakeets to the
God.
to the animal shelter.
to you when you fill your box truck with parakeets.
That's right. It's the Eve.
Eve. You can hit us up on social media. Donate to your local animal shelter.
Donate, please donate.
Apparently they get like
They
dumped
need lots of money and lots of food and lots of people that will watch after parakeets.
But you can hit us up on Twitter. We are at Undebeatables. We're on Facebook.com/TheUndebeatables. Our website is TheUndebeatables.com. There's a contact form there. You can send us a message. We got a store, the website/store, where we sell medium t-shirts. And soon
enough.
So we will have more
banging new shirts.
More merchandise described by one analyst as banging. What did you say?
Banging new shirts.
Okay. If you want your body to be banging, then
I'm telling you, by the end of January, you're gonna have banging new shirts. You're gonna be banging shirts.
You'll be able to join the F League.
Yeah. Oh wow.
For What's Always Coach. Bobby Leonard and the architect Donnie Walsh.
We need more people in marketing.
How to lie. The party's over.
I feel like he's trying to hit it. I think he thinks it's the number of notes you hit. Like more is better.
I think there's an over-under on that. Length of the song, like at the Super Bowl, and
sure,
it's over and the starts hitting the band.
You can bet on anything now.
That's right. I wonder if they're betting on this weekly. Yeah.
By the way, I do not like the FanDuel thing.
Okay.
You guys watched the
I've seen the FanDuel. Yeah, sure.
They used to do a trivia question every game.
Yep.
And now we get over-unders for like 6 different guys, 3 on each team. I can't even follow what's going on.
It's too much work.
Too much information.
Yeah.
And second of all, who cares? Like, just let me do my trivia question.
Right.
So that
I
I can
love
think
the
about
trivia.
it for like a quarter and be like, oh, okay, yeah.
I've been continuously impressed by the amount of ads that they have fit into the basketball game.
Yeah.
Like, they do an ad in between free throws.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, they do a quick little Mr. Quick.
Now, I do love Mr. Quick. They do a really
Yeah.
nice job. Those are great commercials.
but
I'm a huge fan of Mr. Quick.
It's in between free throws.
There's usually like a little kid being like, "Did you throw the keys down the thing?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did." And that's all it takes. It's
Right.
great. And then they're out. You know, I love local commercials.
Sure. I do too, but
FanDuel, less fun. They're not local.
No.
They're just
No.
they're just coming in with gambling money, and they're going to take over everything.
And first off, our trivia.
They've already taken our trivia.
first they came for your
First
trivia.
game for our trivia. And I said nothing.
That's right.
I didn't say nothing. I'm saying something.
You're
Right
saying
now.
something now. Let the record show that he said something before it ended. Before they came and took everything.
Unbelievable.